The United States and China look set to resume stalled trade talks after a meeting between their leaders at the G20 summit last month. For the past 1 year of on-again, off-again tensions, well, it's sparked jitters in this region. At the ASEAN Summit in Bangkok last month, regional leaders noted that the tensions are a challenge to ASEAN's economic interests. How can businesses in ASEAN cope amid all this uncertainty? Well, Jiten Arora joins us in the studio today to discuss these questions. He's the global head of commercial banking from Standard Chartered Bank. Good evening, Jiten. Good to see you here today.
Thank you, John. Good to see you too.
So it's a gloomy economy, a gloomy world economy that we're seeing. How can ASEAN businesses, how can they go forward in this?
So if you look at, despite the US-China trade war, Standard Chartered is very hopeful and committed to the growth that we see of the ASEAN opportunity, as well as more resilient business going forward. Since global financial crisis, ASEAN has become a very resilient economy. If you look at the countries, they have large reserves. Their debt is largely local currency denominated, as well as they've been showing growth in the international trade. Intra-ASEAN trade grew 40%. ASEAN's contribution to global trade grew 60%.
So these ASEAN, these businesses in ASEAN, they have some resilience, but in which particular sectors do you think they would do well?
So if you look at supply chains, and the moving supply chains are finding two various things. One, they're looking for new places to manufacture and new consumer base. So retail, looking at taking e-commerce. We've got 200 million e-commerce clients, consumers in ASEAN, growing at 60% year on year. That is a huge space. Infrastructure. ASEAN needs close to $2.8 trillion of investment to really boost up the infrastructure required in ASEAN. These two are huge. And in the supply chains moving manufacturing, whether it is low-tech, high labor, or also some advanced manufacturing in pharma, semiconductors, electronics, these supply chains are going to focus and move towards ASEAN, giving it the new opportunity.
Do you think that the landscape is looking sweet for mid-sized companies? And if it is, what kind of new growth strategies are they going to have to be employing, amid this this sort of gloomy outlook?
So over the last 10 years, mid-corporates, which we define corporates between 10 to 500 million turnover, have actually invested and become real good domestic champions in their fields of expertise. What this provides them is an opportunity to re-augment their own business models, participate in the global supply chains, partner with international companies, and really take their businesses and become regional and global players over the time.
So there's still some propensity for sort of optimism then. Jiten, thank you very much. We've run out of time, I'm afraid, but thank you very much for coming into the studios to share that with us.
Thank you,
Jiten Arora, their global head of commercial banking from Standard Chartered Bank.